And the 4 people removed from an airplane that landed at O'Hare, no longer under questioning, were released without charges.
Even though this ended up being a false alarm, it was still a scary incident for passengers. And WGN's Julian Cruz is here now with details. Julian.
Well, Mike and Mark, as you can imagine, with the attacks in Paris, there is a heightened sense of alertness at the airport, and this was an extremely frightening situation for people. And given the attacks and the concern, the pilot taxiing back to the gate at Baltimore Washington International Airport abruptly this morning, and that raised concern as well. But police in Maryland say that the passenger that was complaining about the suspicious activity from another passenger, that they were actually concerned because this individual was looking at a smartphone.
All of us are concerned about security, and all of us do play a role in ensuring the security of the public. However, there's a difference between suspicious activity and non-suspicious activity. Somebody who's watching news on their iPhone, just because they happen to be Middle Eastern while watching news on their iPhone, does not count as suspicious activity.
Ahmed Rehab of the Council on American Islamic Relations here in Chicago says that it was clearly a case of profiling. The 4 passengers taken off of Spirit Flight 969 this morning, reportedly of Middle Eastern descent. Nobody's faulting the pilot, who only responded to the report of suspicious activity, not wanting to take any chances and returning to the gate. Airport security came onto the plane, briefly questioning a group of passengers, a man and a woman traveling together with another relative, an adult male relative, and a 4th man unrelated to them who just happened to be sitting nearby. All 4 were escorted off the plane and questioned, while the crew ordered the rest of the passengers off the aircraft until bomb-sniffing dogs could sweep the plane and luggage. Passengers say that it was a frightening experience.
Like, I literally thought that the plane was like gonna blow up. It was like the scariest moment of my life. And then the plane stopped immediately, and then they went to taxi us back, and the pilot said that everyone remain calm.
It was a little nerve-wracking, and then you're hearing people whispering, and you see the dogs coming on board. I mean, it was quite nerve-wracking.
Now, many of the passengers we talked to say that they were concerned flying out of Baltimore Washington International Airport with media reports that the terrorists could be targeting the nation's capital. Police say they can't fault the passenger who raised the alarm bells, with authorities urging people to say something if you see something. But community leaders like Ahmed Rehab says that we have to be smart about this. There's a fine line between being vigilant and then unfairly drawing conclusions based on people's appearance. So, this is kind of symptomatic, I think, of what's going on now.
So go back to the beginning. The allegation is that the passengers saw one of those passengers using a smartphone and felt that that was suspicious?
As they were taxiing to the runway, getting ready to take off from the airport in Baltimore, and this passenger saw this individual looking at a media report on his smartphone.
I see.
And that's what triggered the alarm.
So it was actually what was on the phone that concerned the passenger. All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Julian.